If you're buying a house, how do you know what comes with it?
That's what we're talking about today.
Hey everybody, welcome to our series on understanding the Utah real estate purchase contract. This is Section 1.
I'm JC Christiansen, mortgage lender.
I'm Tyler Kazare, a Utah realtor.
Eric Wist, Utah realtor.
Today, we're talking about inclusions and exclusions.
In the purchase contract.
Right.
So what does that mean? Just
This comes with the home. This doesn't come with the home. So this is super important because, here's random trivia. What appliance must be in a home before it can be considered a home?
I know. I learned the hard way.
What is it?
Oven.
An oven.
I was going to say a range.
You don't have to have
a range. It has to be an oven.
It has to be an oven. You have to be able to cook your food. You don't have to be able to refrigerate your food. You don't have to be able to wash the thing that has your food, but you have to be able to cook the food. It is not a home. You can't get your final certificate of occupancy or a mortgage on that without something to cook the food. You need a stove.
Okay. So what if they exclude their stove?
You can't get a loan.
You're toast. You can't get so you're done.
But you can, anything else, drapes, for instance. We've got a good story on drapes.
Tell us about drapes, Aric.
Well, before we get into drapes,
if it's attached to the house, it comes with the house. Cameras, just as a general rule, if it's attached to the house, it stays at the house. If you can pick it up into your big screen TV, you can take. The mounting bracket stays.
Because it turns into anything that's bolted to the walls, that becomes real property. Yeah. And that's fireplace mantle, a shelf, a bookshelf that's screwed into the wall. Those are included in the home unless specified noted. So in the purchase contract, it automatically specifies things that are automatically included that a lot of people forget. Drapes is a really important one that people forget. Blinds, shelves, different bookshelves, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Toilets. I would
take toilets. Wow, that would be awesome. So the other side of that, if those are real property, the alternative is anything you can pick up. That's personal property.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
so
not fake property.
Not fake property. Yes,
imaginary
real
property.
and personal. So anything that you can pick up, that's not, by definition, it's
swing
not
set,
included.
Shed, tool bench.
Right.
You can include it if you want.
I was going to say, but that's the interesting thing. You can negotiate on any of these things. If you like that workbench or that tool box or whatever it is, or the chairs or whatever it is.
Or the deep freezer or the fridge or that giant washer dryer that's in the basement.
Yeah. You can say, hey, I want these to be included. And now they become part of the contract.
You can. Please, for the love of your lender, don't put them on the real estate purchase contract. Put them on a bill of sale.
Well, there's
and convey
an idea.
Personal property on a contract that happens to be for personal property. If by chance you want to throw the shed in, just in this little section where it says include other included items, put at no cash value.
Right.
Otherwise,
yeah. What happens if?
Why don't you like that?
Otherwise, we're doing personal property loans that are backed by mortgages that only fund real property, and that doesn't work well.
No good.
No, they're not happy. So you can include it. You can include that barbecue, but it has to be for $0 on a bill.
So what happens? What happens, Aric, if you got a home? I'm selling a home. It's got really nice tall drapes, and I'm going to take those with me.
Well, let me tell you about that. Okay. We had a buyer who we went to do our final walkthrough, and on excluded items, they didn't have anything down. And we walked in the house the night before signing, and those super nice drapes and I think 9-10 foot ceilings in the main floor, curtain rod, the rods, everything was gone. Okay, the blinds were still there, but all the rods were gone in the whole house. They took them all, and my buyer wasn't happy because they wanted them there. So I called the seller and said, "Hey, where's the window drapes?" And they said, "Well, my seller has them. They were excluded." I said, "Not in the contract, they weren't." "Well, they were supposed to be." I said, "Well, they're not in the contract, so either somebody forgot to put it or whatnot, but they're not there, and my buyer wants them, and you're bound to that contract." They said, we'll call you back. And
have a panic conversation with their broker. What do we do? What does the contract say?
What they probably called the broker, probably said something. The seller said, I'm not giving them back because I said I need them back and I need them installed, because you can't just set them in on the floor. That's not what the contract says.
Yeah.
And the seller came back and said, well, let me just give you a cash value for it. Here's cash, $2,000.
Whew. There you go.
That came from somebody's pocket. I don't really care who it came from because I was the buyer's side. My buyer got taken care of per what was in the contract. And so that's where being able to read the contract and enforce what is needed. I've heard some other stories from another friend where it says included refrigerator. Did it say which refrigerator was included? Because there was a junk one in the garage and there was a $3,000 smart one in the kitchen. Guess the refrigerator wasn't there when they came in. And unfortunately, the buyer assumed the sellers knew what they were doing. I don't want to say shady, but sneaky. And it's in the contract. It didn't state which refrigerator. It just says refrigerator.
So a couple of things to note here. First, you need to know what's included and what's excluded,
and specifically what's included and excluded.
Is it the fridge from the garage or the fridge from the kitchen?
Yeah. Now you also can't just. We caught another one. What was it? Oh, it actually was TV mount. You talked about TV mount. They had an 80-inch TV on the wall.
So a tiny TV.
Yeah, super tiny, super lightweight, you know. They took the TV, okay, which is fine because that's personal property.
Right.
The mount, because it's bolted to the wall, has to stay. They took the mount and replaced it with a $10 TV mount from Harbor Freight.
Oh, not cool.
Now, we caught that and they argued, said, well, there's a TV mount there. Well, they replaced that because it was not as it was when we made an offer on the property. You can't change real property in the middle of a contract.
Right. So, and if there's any question, photographs are your friend.
Yep.
This is why agents always have their phone out and they're snapping photos of weird little things as they go through the house.
They got busted on their own listing photos. 80-inch TV on the wall.
Oops.
That has a 10-pound rating on that mount.
No possible way.
So last section of section 1, section 1.4, water rights.
Right. Well, let's just take a quick look at that, right? So water rights say, this is section 1.4 in the REPC, the purchase price for the property shall include all water rights or shares, if any. I'm going to skip a little bit here, unless specifically excluded.
Now, water rights, well, that's another one that most people wouldn't think about because the majority of properties that are purchased are within city limits.
Yeah, if you're in a major municipality, there's no water rights.
Yeah. Right.
You have culinary.
You don't. Now, unless you're buying an older home that's even been within the city for 80 years, then sometimes you can have it.
Yeah.
But water, water's valuable.
Yeah, but if you're in a small town, I mean, where was that home that you
did? Small
town,
it was about an hour south of here.
Okay.
Super small town. I was helping my buyer buy property to build. And I had done my research on it when he said he wanted to buy this property, and I knew there was water on there. They didn't specify excluded. It has to come with it.
So there was just nothing.
There was nothing there.
Nothing in the contract.
Nothing was written.
So didn't they say, like, and if you want to buy the water rights, it's another $10,000 or something?
Oh, they did. After we were under contract. And after we were like a little ways under contract too. And once again, I pulled out the contract and said, doesn't say it in 1.4. And they said, we'll have that document ready for you at closing.
So, what did we learn?
You have to know what is in your contract in section 1. Included, excluded. There's a lot of key principles on there and a lot of money that could be lost. And you can have some very upset clients. And you could be on the hook for it.
Yeah. Either side.
Yeah, either side.
Yeah.
Damages.
You need to transfer personal property. If you intend to do so in a contract, you need to transfer that on a bill of sale for no cash value.
This is why having a knowledgeable real estate agent is worth the money.
So nothing is excluded in this video. The likes and subscribes both included. Click the buttons right there, leave a comment, share it with one of your friends who needs some help.
Utah Real Estate Purchase Contract. That's stupid.
Yep.
I'm Tyler Kazare, Utah Real Estate. I don't know my name,
You're
guys.
screwing up everything. I'm not supposed to say something.
No, we're just looking at you.
Oh.
Find someone who looks at you the way Tyler and Jason look at you. There you go.
By an applicable deed or legal instrument.
Cut. It's a P4 is hot.
Good.